Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. Today we are going to accomplish a very beautiful task, that is navigating through the Maelstrom and collect all the materials that are available until now, May 3309. So sit back, relax, and we will show you some tips and tricks on how to survive within this difficult environment. Let's go to the video. Let's divide the video into three parts. The first one, we will call it the approaching part. Well, we will have to actually arrive where the Maelstrom is located. The second part will be the entering into the Maelstrom, where we actually have to face the first part, the external part and the EMP. And then the third part, we will call it navigating, where we actually are inside of the Maelstrom, what we have around and what we have to do with it. So let's start with the approaching phase. Now, as easy as it may sound, the approaching phase is one of the most complicated ones. This is because while entering into any Thargoid system, but especially into the Maelstrom one, we can be hyperdicted or interdicted. If we are hyperdicted or interdicted by any Thargoids, that is a scout or an interceptor, we know that if you have a ship with at least 530 meters per second of speed, we can easily avoid them just boosting away. The problem arises when our new friends introduced by FTEV shows up, that is the glaive. This little fella is very fast and very aggressive and you cannot outrun it, so you only have left with the chance to fight with it. After having passed this first obstacle, it's time to start the funny part. I will go very briefly through the very beginning of this part, because if you want to see the video of which materials and how to outfit the ship for the first caustic environment of the Maelstrom, you have the link on top of here, and I will leave the link in the description down below. We will enter into the Maelstrom, this cloud, fog, and the first difficulties that we will find is that is caustic, and very caustic. You must have a very strong hull. So here the suggestion is to be ready with the heat sink, caustic heat sink, and as soon as we are approaching any caustic generator, that are those little star Thargoids here, to hit silent run. Because with silent running, they will not see you, and even if you pass close to them, unless you don't touch it, they will not explode. And from here, we will start to boost toward the center of the Maelstrom. And we have to start this boosting maneuver with the core, the heart of the Maelstrom in front of us. Otherwise, it's very easy to get lost during this phase. Now, while approaching the core, we have to take care about two things. The first one is the caustic buildup that we are receiving on our ship, and we can actually see the accumulating caustic damage in our caustic sink launcher on the bottom left of our HUD. So what happens is, as soon as that line is maxed out, we need to press and release our ship control to eject the caustic sink generator in order to start a new caustic generator sequence. Then the next part, that is the most complicated because it must be trimmed correctly, is to use the Thargoid pulse neutralizer. While approaching the 50 kilometers range, we will start to see that the Titan or the Maelstrom is starting to charge with the blue light. If we press the Thargoid pulse neutralizer too early, there is the risk that we get bounced back. Now, we need to wait for the pulse to be first released. As soon as it's completely released, we can discharge our Thargoid pulse neutralizer. If we have a fast ship, we can also pass with this first sparrow and then we are inside. If we have a normal ship like the Crate Mark II that it boosts this build at 530 meters per second, we have to wait also for, and we have to be ready for a second pulse. And the system is still the same. We put all the pipes in the system, we wait for it to recharge, and then as soon as we see that the Titan has released its second magnetic EMP, we have to discharge the Thargoid pulse neutralizer. And after that we will find ourselves inside of the Maelstrom and outside of the caustic environment. From here, the things start to get interesting. We will be a little bit overwhelmed, especially if it is the first time that we are entering into the Maelstrom, and we have to be very smart on how we use our resources, especially if we don't have a lot of mats for synth. The most used equipment here is gonna be the heatsink, because we have to try to be and to stay cold as much as possible to avoid detection. Inside of the Maelstrom, the mechanic of how we get discovered or caught by the Thargoid is the same as in any other conflict zone, or even if you go to Asterop or signal sources. So we have two options: or we have a lot of math and we can synth, so we stay constantly cold, or we can take as while we are entering the same technique while we were entering into the Maelstrom, that is cold running an heatsink, or even with the thermal vent laser beam. Even if it is gimbaled, is not important, because we just need to shoot at the structure and we will start to cool down immediately. I personally recommend to just stay in silent running and cool down with the laser when we are very close to the structure, if we want to explore around and gather the materials. Now that we have acquainted ourselves with this couple of techniques and arrangement, we will start to see which type of material are available until today, May 3309, inside of the Maelstrom. The first one is called phasing membrane residue and is found next to lateral entrance of the Titan. Those entrances are very similar to those found on the crushed Thargoid ships in Delphi. So we have to approach it and we will start to see that the wall surrounding the entrance, where you have to be careful because sometimes Thargoids are coming in and out of there. As soon as they become yellow, like this, get cover and get cold. Around the wall, those small particles, they are red. And if you come closer and zoom in, you will see that some of them are targetable with our ship. We can start to shoot at these targetable ones that are called launch membrane. And after a little bit, we will start that it will disattach from the Titan itself, and then we can gather the new material with the collector limpet. Now onto the second material. To be able to find the second material, we have to look for the coarse hull surface. The coarse hull surface, beside the phase membrane residue, it doesn't have, or at least it doesn't look to have, a specific location. You will just have to fly around the Maelstrom and find this kind of diamond shape that is incastonated within the Titan itself. And the technique is the same. Target it, shoot it, and collect with the collector limpet. The material collected, it will be called hardened surface. Now, on to the last material, the Heat Exposure Specimen. These can be found on the vents of the heart that are normally located on each tip of the Titan. When you approach them, just be careful, you can shoot at them with any laser or weapon, they will open up and they will discharge some heat. Don't go into them because otherwise it's gonna be impossible to get out. Just fly around and then you will see those black spots or black dots that are inside the vents or even outside of the vents. Just shoot at them and they will release the heat exposure specimen that is gonna be the last mat that we are able to gather until today. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you have any feedback or suggestion for the contents, please leave them on the comment down below, and I wish you all a good day. Ciao!